This is the Nightwolf howling at you, and today we're going to take a look at the Transformers Generation 2 Hero Optimus Prime figure. Back from the 90s, this was actually the third Optimus Prime that they released in that line. The fourth one I want to say was actually a quote GoBots version, which was just a car. But this one here is my favorite version of Optimus Prime ever so far, to be honest. This is also back when they did do gimmicks. We'll take a look at that in a moment. But you see Optimus Prime here is well, he's basically designed kind of similar to the Combaticon leader Onslaught. And the one problem I've had with this figure is that no matter what I've done, I have never been able to get him to transform so all of his wheels are touching the ground. You might not be able to see it here, but the front wheels do not touch the ground at all, which causes some problems with movement, being that mostly just these wheels here are touching and that back wheel there touch. I suspect he would have rolled better if I could have gotten all of them down. But he is pretty much the same on both sides in the front. Whoops. And this version of him is kind of that extended cab front. And honestly, when they did that Volvo version of Optimus Prime, I thought they were trying to recreate this one, but they didn't quite manage it. And like the Generation 2 Megatron, I would like to see a version of this be made into the current articulation and stylization. Even if we wouldn't get the action features, which this was kind of fun. So he's got two of these missiles here. They are hollow, as you can see. You take this off the back, and assuming that this still works, put the missile on there. That is really tight fit. Both sides of the missile on like that. Unfortunately, some of his joints are kind of loose. And you push the plunger and it launches the missile. Remember, Generation 2 was one of those times when they were trying to make features to play with, you know? And not just the whole, like today, where they're just giving us Transformers to transform with nothing extra. That. He also has a separate gun. And if you take a look at this, there are two holes here. There's some paper in this one on mine. I don't know if you can actually see it. But I had done that to try to help hold this in place. Because, you know, you never want to glue stuff, and that doesn't stay in place very well. And you can transform him with that in place. So in order to transform him, the first thing we need to do is push back these two flaps in the front. Then we can flip this entire front section of the cab. Separate them. You need to kind of pull the leg in a little bit because it's on a slide. And this thing will come off. So you slide that in a little bit like, oh, shit. Look at that. There is a crack in mine. That's not good. Damn. That sucks. I'm not necessarily going to find a replacement for mine, but I might need to find something with some spare parts now. So that's it for the legs, and those are what his feet look like. I mean, they are kind of huge, but come on. It's still kind of cool. Pull the arms apart like so. Pull those out. Push the fists out. Turn it around. Push down. Spin. And in this side, obviously we need to spin the gun. And again, this thing had popped out. Keeps popping out. That is the one flaw with this figure. Do the same here. Spin the shoulder. Push down. Spin the fists in. And there you go. And of course, the action feature Whoops. Still works. Ugh, that is, again, the one thing I disliked. So then you can also go ahead and put his rockets back in his shoulders like this. And this was the reason why it had the paper in there, was, you know, to try to keep that in place. His gun comes out and fits in his hand. Like so. Then, of course, I used to just think of these as being a rocket pack on his back. Unfortunately, he is back heavy, as you can see. And this is back before they started giving us heel spurs. Oh my lord. Come on, man, you're embarrassing me. So it would have been kind of nice if they had something that flipped out to help hold them in place. This version of Optimus Prime did actually make a brief appearance in the Generation 2 comic book, although in that version the legs were blue still, and we never saw his vehicle mode. We just saw the robot mode, which I'll throw a picture up here to show you. Like with a lot of Transformers, in Generation 2, as they went along, we started getting a little bit more articulation than what we had previously. So in that case, his head does actually spin around. That's all it does. The shoulders rotate 360. You can move that part up. You can swing the arm out like that. So you got that. We have a bicep cut. The elbow has a single joint. And I keep knocking the fist in there. The leg can kick forward. We're going to take the missile out. Can kick back. Knee bends at better than 90 due to the way it transforms. And we do have a waist swivel, which, yeah, I thought maybe that had something to do with the way to transform him, but no. Unfortunately, that is not part of the transformation to actually get him into vehicle mode. He also has the false Optimus Prime front there. And this version was released with 3 color variations. I am going to show a picture of all 3 variations here in robot mode. I'm borrowing the image from cybertron.com, and I will link the gallery in the description below, and hopefully they won't get mad at me for using it. I've only ever seen 2 of them in the wild, but there's kind of like a really dark blue-red version, where most of them is dark blue. And then they did the Scourge/Nemesis Prime coloring, which a friend of mine really likes that coloring for the Optimus Prime figures. So when I saw that at a used toy store, I picked it up for him, not realizing that I did not have it in my collection, which I'm not going to lie, if I realized at the time, I probably wouldn't have given it to him. He doesn't watch my videos, so he's not going to hear that. But anyway, that one actually looks really cool too. And it was not complete either, so. Editor's note, the Nemesis Prime one is actually a Robots in Disguise Scourge. And I found that out when I went ahead and I ordered one from eBay that was incomplete and broken. But found out that I'm a dirty liar, because now that I knew it was Robots in Disguise, I was able to check through those figures and found the copy I thought I'd bought before. Meaning I always had them and I just forgot about it because it was in a different toy line than I thought it was. Like I said, this is actually my favorite Optimus Prime in my collection right here. I mean, he's been packed away like so many others, and I'm just hoping that we'll get a reissue of this. When they did that Volvo Optimus Prime, I thought maybe they were going to give us this version out of that, but they didn't. I mean, it's kind of close, but it still didn't quite look right, and obviously didn't have the gun on his arm. And this is what I want. I know this might be a little bit more difficult to do with the way they do this stuff today, because when you consider that this guy's vehicle mode is a truck and trailer together, you know, they would probably just give us it as the truck. But I do want to see this version. And just to note, this is soft rubber on the end of the missiles. Still poke your eye out if you got shot in the face with it, but, you know, whatever. And if only this had pushed in better all the time and stayed in place, this would have been near perfect. So I also have here the file card for Optimus Prime. And I want to point something out before I actually push up the version that you'll see when I start reading it back. You'll note that these colors, the pink here, the yellow, and the orange, do not look the same as when I show off the card in a few moments. And that is because that these are not part of the CMYK spectrum. Back in the time of the Transformers Generation 2, Hasbro was putting a lot of extra cost into the packaging, and each one of those colors is a separate ink being hit on these, because you cannot get this kind of day glow coloring with a process ink. So I just wanted to point out that yes, Hasbro did used to put money into this stuff a lot more to make it look good on the shelves. Autobot, Optimus Prime, Function Leader. Freedom is the right of all sentient beings. Optimus Prime is the strongest and wisest of all Autobots. His role is to protect all life in the fight to defeat the Decepticons. This all-powerful leader gathers information on his enemies from up to 12,000 miles away and relays this information to his fellow Autobots. His brain center gives him all combat orders, but he isn't one to stay out of the battle himself. With this powerful rocket blaster, he is both a respected commander and a feared warrior. Let me know what you guys think of my favorite version of Optimus Prime in the comments below. And if you want to hear more of my nonsense in the future, please feel free to subscribe. I thank you for watching. Peace and love.